Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday to everybody. Man, I don't know about you guys. I went to grab a drink this morning. It was sunshiny out, really kind of lifted my moods, even though it's kind of a flat day today. Let me check over on real quick, make sure everyone can hear me over on X this morning. Okay, there we go. Looking like we're ready to rock and roll. Let me drop a quick GM for good morning in the content like I do every day. Get the chat started. Well, yeah, it's a Friday. Beautiful day out, at least where I'm at. Market's kind of flat. Actually, they're up a little more than they were looking, at least on the TradFi side. We've got NASDAQ, like literally half an hour ago, it was literally flat. Like literally you literally couldn't get any flatter than it was, right? But right now the NASDAQ up 0.15, the Dow Jones up 0.26, S&P 0.23. Let's take a quick peek at of course we've seen some meme coins going, well, not even just meme coins. Oh, kill my crypto alerting there that sorry, I have phone calls call me when there's a up or down on my Solana for my grid bots, but all righty. Yeah, some of the algo, hype, injective, fetch AI doing good. Sometimes when you get a Bitcoin kind of leveling out, the money starts to flow, right? That Bitcoin dominance always stops us. But anyway, algorithm, H bar, some of the VVV, injective, some of the old Dino coins coming back. But what's happening is we're finding some new use cases. Some of these old technologies are good, right? Like H bar, Algorand, injective. Those are all great projects that I owned for years and made lots of money on. There's XLM down here, right? These are all protocols that are solid projects. They're still building. Now they're starting to dip into RWA tokenization and stuff like that. So don't have any specific stories on it this morning, but there's definitely some stuff going on there. But let's go down and take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin 72,940. So we were holding over 73. So we're flat for the day. We're basically flat for the day. On the hour chart, you can see we're kind of coming down. We'll see where that shakes out. It's early. Market barely opened 6 minutes. Thank you for joining me, by the way, live on Opening Bell Crypto. We're here to tell you everything that happened when you were sleeping, and all the factors in the news, and of course, more especially traditional markets, how they're affecting us. GM, big Coach Master, my brother, good to see you. Good longtime friend from X over on following me on YouTube, which I appreciate because I don't have very many followers on YouTube. Want to get outreach, take this information to some more people. So good to see you, Coach Master. A little earlier, I believe Coach Master is an hour earlier than me, but man, I just went in, grabbed my drink down at the gas station here, and it was just the weather, just perfect amount of sunshine and heat. Hey, just was uplifting, to be honest with you. Yeah, a little bounce, as you see, back over 73. So great. Glad to see that. Ethereum. Ooh, we're back over 2,000. Now just barely. I believe we'll come back up over it with the traditional markets being good. Glad to see that. Or, well, hope to see it again. But basically up 0.6 from the day. Yesterday we were, you look on the daily chart, we were 1975. So anyway, that $2,000 is a big psychological level. Want to see that. XRP, $1.30 flat, up 0.5 for the day, up a little bit. If we look at the hourly chart, we dipped down, we're coming back up, but Solana on the daily 81,050, up 0.9, almost 1% for the day, flat for the hour. Let's go back, see a Bitcoin over to see if Ethereum's got, yep, there we are. Ding, 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 right at the 2,000. Right at the 2,000 level. Let's get above that. Like I say, big psychological level. Big psychological level. Big news day, by the way. Big news day happening for sure. We've got Scott Bessent here, our guy. He kind of made it. Well, no, that isn't the top news story. What happened there? What about the rocket blowing up? I was going to talk about the rocket blowing up. Must have lost that slide somehow. Oh, interesting. Well, anyway, I was going to talk about that. Let's pull that up. We got to talk about the rocket blowing up. Amazon, Elon, of course. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Jeff Bezos also been doing some rocket testing. In fact, I have a friend who owns like a 50,000 acre ranch out in West Texas, just a little bit east of El Paso, and been his family since, Civil War times or whatever. Let's I can't believe that. I'm sure you've heard about it at this point. Yeah, I had that as my first slide. Oh, geez. Oh, there it is. Yeah, let's just watch this. That's just crazy, right? Turn off the sound. But anyway, yeah, it was just, luckily, no one was hurt. I can joke about it because nobody got hurt, nobody got killed or anything like that. Thank God. A lot of stuff was destroyed. But anyway, I was saying my friend had that ranch, and I've been out there a few times, and Jeff Bezos bought 1 million acres all around his ranch. He wouldn't sell his ranch because it was in the family. Grandma's still alive in her late 90s, almost 100. She's like, no, we're not selling the ranch, right? They offered him stupid money, like 3 or 4 times what they did for the neighbors. But basically, Jeff Bezos has 1 million acres surrounding my buddy's ranch or next to it, and he launches rockets from there. And we watched a few of them launch or get ready to launch. I can't remember. I don't know if I ever saw them launch, but it seemed like they were powering them up, and you could see the smoke and stuff. I don't remember if we ever saw any actually launch, but anyway, that's what he does. So he has 1 million acres, been doing this test stuff. Even before I knew about Elon, I knew about his stuff. Anyway, yesterday, tragically, it blew up. And it, reminds us of that picture we see of Elon all the time, right? Where he's sitting there with all the pieces trying to figure out what the hell happened, right? Anyway, and even Elon's saying, man, it's hard. Even though those guys are maybe a little bit of rivals. Well, certainly the rivals in the space stuff. Obviously, Elon's winning, but he said this is tough stuff, man. But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent made the Trump administration stance very clear. The White House supports stablecoin regulations, wants clear crypto market rules passed through the Clarity Act, strongly against launching a U.S. CBDC central bank digital currencies. That's our guy, Scott Bessent, pushing hard for the Clarity Act. We've got Strategy, moves 411 BTC to Coinbase. Now the polymarket odds, the Strategy sells before December's at 84%. Now, he's kind of throwing this out there. I think he's just kind of front running this, kind of inoculating everyone in case they ever do sell. I think they're just kind of slow. You're slowly, you put a frog in a hot pot of water, he'll jump out, right? But if you just slowly turn up the heat, slowly, it's like sitting in a jacuzzi, just lays down, never realized before long he's in boiling water, right? So that's what he's doing. He's just slow. Hey, talked about it a month or two ago. Now they're moving some coins, whatever. Anyway, it's interesting. I don't think it's going to ever be a massive amount, but I think he's trying not to be so predictable, right? Like I think last week was the third time in like 30 plus weeks that they haven't bought, but they did retire $1 billion and a half dollars worth of bonds or convertible notes that they would have had to pay in 2030, and they got an 8% discount on it. So he's a smart guy working. He knows this is a 10,000 mile death march. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. He's doing his thing, man. Shout out to Michael Saylor. Jeffries forecasts crypto and blockchain IPOs could become $1 trillion public market within the 5 years. Just like we talked about here, tokenization surged from 1.5 billion to 2020 to 223 or to 29 billion. Now there's another thing they've added that some people are claiming it's up to 50 billion because there's some markets going on there. There's one fund for particulars $18 billion. So anyway, yeah, interesting. We're seeing it right now with the trillions of dollars in IPOs and the fundraising. Even ChatGPT raised 60 or 68 billion at almost $1 trillion valuation. Also keep in mind that there's money leaving Bitcoin going over to these as well, which is fine. It is what it is. Sector rotation. Strategy CEO Fong Li said that now is the time to buy Bitcoin. Clarity will be law. The Iran war will end. Tailwinds are coming. Headwinds today are becoming tailwinds. Couldn't agree with you more. That's why I'm here telling you. That's why I'm buying all the Bitcoin I can right now. This window, this is a blessing. This window of cheap Bitcoin is not going to be here forever. It just isn't. This was the title. Oh, no, this wasn't it. This isn't. No, this is another story. But ICE, which is the Intercontinental Exchange. These guys own the New York Stock Exchange, and I believe like 20 or so other major stock exchanges around the world. They just applied to the SEC to tokenize stock. So it's, they're going 24/7. They're going full Degen. So we know it's coming. I've been talking about it for years and years, probably a decade now, but especially for the last couple of years, this is definitely happening. They're literally, the stock exchange all going on the blockchain. Our guy Pomp said on CNBC, he's sure Bitcoin will go to $1 million. He used to make predictions when he's like, you can predict the time and you can predict the price. It's really easy to predict the price, hard to predict the time. He's out of the game of saying when, but he kind of came back to the adage, the government won't stop printing money. That's why it's going to continue to go up. BTC has no top because the dollar's got no bottom. That's the OG Bitcoiners, Bitcoin Maxis, been saying that for years. Now, the other thing he said is, yeah, we're right now, and I see shocking. Like I saw a guy a real respected crypto KOL or whatever want to expect, and going in there and saying, he's talking about Mark Cuban selling his Bitcoin. And he kind of agreed. I was shocked. I thought it was clickbait. And he kind of agreed and said how he'd been buying stocks and stuff. Screw that. If you could listen to this, Pomp, and I'm going to figure out how to do it. I have to do it in another window. And in the past, it came in really choppy. So I'm going to try and figure that out. It would be nice if you could listen to some of these clips. I'll play around with that. But he basically said, you want something that's maybe a little bit out of favor, but we know is coming back. So I'm not abandoning my 15 years of shilling Bitcoin to jump over and buy some stocks. I mean, you want to diversify, great. That's a short-term thing. Heineken Scott, thank Heine. It's Friday. In the Heine community, they've got that. I'm saying it now. And for those youngins here, might not remember, for years and years, and I don't know if it's a thing anymore, to be honest with you, but we always used to say TGIF, thank God it's Friday. I don't even know if that's a saying anymore, but we always used to say it, we're done with school. The weekend's coming, done working, whatever. But the Heine community there, thank Heine, it's Friday. So it's got it rolls off the tongue. So we got Heineken Scott and we got Mr. Heine, both once again, OG friends from X, helping me out and listening to me on YouTube. Kind of cool. I definitely haven't checked my numbers, but I'm sure it's helping the algorithm, getting the message out to more people. It is what it is. But appreciate you guys. Great community. You really should check them out. They're all about education, especially if you're bringing someone new to crypto and they need a place where they can get some honest advice and not get ripped off and really get educated and grow a great community and have that support, because you need it when stuff, gets scary out there. It's good to have the support, especially on the really, really bad days. People are panicking. They got to have somewhere to go to get that support, Otherwise, you'll just sell and buy back higher at a later thing. So thank Heine, it's Friday. Tesla plus space merger. Now, I saw one article I was listening earlier today when I was up and around getting ready for the show on an early investor in SpaceX says it's not a matter of if, but when this happens. So I don't know, but it's a rumored merger. They would be the fifth largest company in the world and the largest corporate Bitcoin holder with 30,221 combined Bitcoin valued at today's price at 2.3 billion. Tesla 11,509, SpaceX 18,712. Now these are two stocks I definitely want to buy. I noticed there was a huge drop yesterday in Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid's is Hype, the Hype token. It's a perps exchange, a decentralized perps exchange. They were already trading SpaceX at about a $2.1 trillion valuation. So I didn't buy any, but got cut in half yesterday. I don't know if it stayed down there, but it'd be a good buy if it did get cut in half, and you could buy it for I'd certainly buy it trade it if it's under $1.5 trillion. But they're saying now coming out about 1.8 trillion. A lot of experts believe they will be coming out at it'll hit over 2.1 the first day. But what we care about is they are going to be two of the biggest, and they would be the biggest corporate holder of Bitcoin. And listen, they're not selling. I mean, I hate to say that, but this is literally a chump change for these guys, right? I wish they'd buy more. I always wish they'd buy more, but they're not selling. He gets it. He's smart as hell, smartest guy in the world. He gets Bitcoin. He just doesn't need it, But man, I'd love to see him buy more. Excuse me, which one day they might, right? So, lots of news. Let's talk a little faster here. Strategy. This is just to wake you up, slap you in the face a little. Strategy bought 2.x more Bitcoin in 2026 than miners produced. He's probably going to buy the supply for the next 5 or 10 years. New Bitcoin, 420 Bitcoin or whatever gets produced. And we're less than 2 years away from that getting cut in half. Supply shock, look it up. And I've been saying supply shock for years. It's coming. It's coming. Now, this was the point of my title. CME Group goes full Degen starting today. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange futures are going to go 24/7. No more of the dreaded CME gap we've had over the weekend. These guys did like $300 billion or some crazy amount of volume. I can't remember exactly, but I know it's something like that. This is, remember the movie Trading Places, where they'd buy futures on pork bellies and oil and, corn. I don't even know what all. It's a commodities, right? Trading commodities futures. And today they're going full Degen. They're like us, going 24/7. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Cardano, Chainlink, Stellar, Avalanche, Sui. Right now, Sui, I heard, was down for 6 hours yesterday. Those of you that have been around, I was an early investor in Solana. Literally, Solana went down like 10 times, maybe 12 times people used to get it. But this is an F1 race car. This is not a tank, right? But of course, we don't really talk about it. Maybe there's some people listening right now that don't know that Solana crashed. This is a high speed. Think of it like a one of those F1 race cars. You're not taking out on the desert jumping shit with it like you might Hummer or Humvee or a freaking something else, right? These are delicate high speed deals, so no big deal. I don't know if it affected the SUI price. Let's see. Let's check that. That is interesting. Interesting experiment here. Big news day for a Friday, man. Big freaking news day. What the heck's going on here? Crypto bubbles can't be found. Hey, Dimcat, GM. Welcome, coming to us from X. A lot of people on X today. Love to see it. I guess I'm kind of in a good mood just because it is a sunshiny day. Wow. I don't know what's going on with the crypto bubbles, but that wasn't crypto bubbles. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong site. What were we talking about? SUI down 1% today. Yeah, not bad. I mean, it was down for 6 hours, is what it is. But anyway, the big news is Chicago Mercantile Exchange is now 24/7. CZ, richest man in crypto, founder of Binance, biggest crypto exchange in the world. AI will stay and grow, but most AI companies will go bust. Yeah, just like most layer ones, most crypto companies are going to go bust. If you haven't been in an early trend like this, like I was in the internet, right? They have bubble, it's this, it's that. Yeah, it's here to stay, no question. But be careful as we're investing. We're looking, how do we invest in AI? How do we do this? How do we do that? Just be careful not to just go ham on everything. Be careful, be cautious. Most crypto companies aren't going to be here in 5 years, and most AI companies won't. But if you get the right ones, then you're done. You're done. Your kids are done. Your grandkids are done. Tom Lee, man, he's down 8 billion with Ethereum being below 2,000. Good picture, right? His hair's crazy. But listen, I'm a little worried about him. I'm not as bullish on Ethereum as he is. I'm not like Saylor buys 2 billion a week. I don't worry at all. I worry a little for Tom Lee just because Ethereum has a lot of headwinds and a lot of competition. But I think he'll be fine. But right now, yeah, he's down 8 billion. I believe Saylor's down again too. Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary says once the Clarity Act passed, Bitcoin will pump to 200K. Very possible. He's saying there's 2 trillion sitting on the sideline. And those of you that don't know Kevin O'Leary, you know him, of course, from Shark Tank and this and that. He's kind of a character out there, but dude is a big shot in the regulated financial markets. He owns his own funds, everything. So this guy is not it's so funny. For a while there, he couldn't talk about it, so he was literally fudding. It's funny, you'd go back and you'd see these videos of him. He knew everything about blockchain. And then he's coming out on TV and fudding. He's like, my lawyers were getting on me, like I kept talking about Bitcoin. It was so funny. We're like, hey, why 3 years ago did you seem like you were freaking knew everything there was? And now, of course, with the new regulations and stuff, he can come out and talk openly. But for a while there, he was literally kind of like anti, but he really wasn't. He just couldn't go on TV and talk about it. They wouldn't let him. So anyway, shout out to Mr. Freaking Wonderful. I love watches. He wears 2 watches. That's funny. He has so many good ones. I don't have that problem, but Texas just announced they're planning to buy more Bitcoin for their reserves. First state to buy Bitcoin openly. And here's the thing. I heard today, in fact, on Scott's show, the Heine morning show that's every morning at 7:30 a.m. Check it out on the East Coast time. They're going to, I don't know if they're going to, I think they're going to self-custody it. Anyway, they're getting out of IBIT ETF and they're going to straight Bitcoin. So I love to see that too. So shout out to Texas. This is awesome. This is what I tell people with Zoom, with CoinZoom, right? This is an ad where this kid, he gets an apartment, right? He gets this apartment, rents it, he's got his own place finally. And, he uses his Coinbase card and he gets Bitcoin rewards on everything. Oh, let me start it. Yeah. So what happens is he has to buy furniture. He's got to buy beds. He's got to pay the utilities, right? Does all this stuff. But since he's earning Bitcoin rewards 5, 10, 15 years down the road, he's able to buy his own apartment. That's what I'm telling people. I've been using my Zoom coin, right? I've been using my Zoom coin. Like, I got to get new, and it's like looking trash. I got to use a black marker. But anyway, got my Zoom. It doesn't show up very good, does it, with the green screen? Anyway, my coin Zoom card, I've earned 1.5 million tokens. Now, they're only $0.015 right now, so I don't know what that is, 20, 30K in rebates. But what if that hits $1 one day? Then you understand that my 5% rewards turned into $1.5 million. I can buy a tough shed in California out by Goachmaster, right? I can buy a shitty house out there for $1.5 million. But hey, if I go somewhere else, I might be able to buy a nice house. Even here in Utah, $1.5 million is a nice house. But anyway, you get my point. I love this. I've been saying this forever. Please, everyone, do this. Hey, I'm out of time here. Damn. So I told you it was a big news day. Hash rate down 9%. In other words, less which is good for miners because it costs them less to mine. But the hash rate's down, or the amount of the hash rate adjusts, depending on how many people are mining and whatnot. But it's going down 9% because a lot of people are going over to AI. Trump deal supposedly done according to Fox News. We shall see. I hope so. But man, it's like I heard this enough. Fear and greed 23. So a little better than yesterday. Still extreme fear. Hey, everyone, have a great weekend. Don't get freaked out on the weekends because it's low volume. Market gets manipulated. I like it because I'm running grid bots, so I don't mind a little volatility. Puts a little more money in my pocket. But anyway, appreciate the support. Everybody out there, feel free to jump on the GM Bitcoin Morning Show. Otherwise, we'll see everyone on Monday.